Now there are 5 ways to add a new customer. And so let's talk about those 5 different ways. First, with the favicon in the upper left-hand corner, that's the EverLogic emblem, you can actually start a new customer here. You can also start a new customer from a new quote, a new invoice, a new repair order, or from the Sales Operation tab under New Customer. So this is where we're going to focus today, on the Sales Operation tab. In the Customer section, we're going to add a new customer. All right, so the first section here talks about quick entry. And if I just put in the customer's name and their phone number, that's a quick entry. I can save that as a quick entry. I see the first and last name along with their phone number. Or I can add additional details with a detailed entry by clicking on the icon that has the pencil. We have our customer detail window. Now please notice at the top there are 3 different labels. I have the legal name, let's say Robert Brown, and then we have a personal, which we can put in their nickname if they have, and you may go by just Rob. Or if you're working with a company, you can also enter the company name here. Okay. All right, so for Mr. Brown, I have home phone number, work phone number, mobile, and fax. I also can add in their address. Now, this is a cool function with the address. If you type in the zip code and then hit tab, it'll automatically display the city and state for you. So again, time is money, money is time. Anytime you can save time, you're going to be saving money. So use these little quick tip functions that'll help you along the way in saving time and ultimately saving money. All right, let's take a look here. There is a drop-down menu, and in some states you may be required to also have a shipping address. Now, even if they don't have a separate shipping address, you can use the home address by clicking on this button. Again, that's going to save you some time by displaying the address that you have in the system. All right, let's look below where you can add some personal information. Here you can add in their address, or excuse me, their email address. Okay. Now the other information here, and by the way, you'll notice there are no bolded areas here. So you can add in as much or as little information as you would like. We at EverLogic do not use the license and or birth date sections. So if you want, you can add in their license and their birth date. If they do have a tax ID number, you may be working with a sales tax exempt individual. You would want to check mark this button where they are showing sales tax exempt. So you might be doing a business to business transaction with a nonprofit agency, so they would be sales tax exempt. So here you would want to maybe enter their tax ID if so. Okay. Since we are talking about sales tax exempt, let me just point out this field here, the sales tax override. This is not used by dealerships in the U.S. Instead, our Canadian dealerships, they do have the option to do sales tax override. So the Canadian dealerships use this field. All right, and if you do have on accounts that you open for your customers, you can indicate what their limit is here. I'm going to say I'm giving my customer a $10,000 credit limit, and as they use that credit limit, in the balance will update here. Also, there will be other screens I'll show you where you can see your credit limit for your customer. All right, and then just to point out at the very bottom, I'm working with a retail customer, or if you are working with a wholesale customer, you would want to check here, and we've already mentioned the sales tax exempt. There is a parts pricing level. So what this means is for parts, and you choose A means that they will be paying retail price. A is selected to pay retail price. Okay? B is selected for a specified markup. So you may have, let's say, 45% on markup from your cost that you're allowing for sales with your wholesale customers. And again, B is a specific markup rate. And then C and D have been left open, and those are for your dealership to choose what you wish on C and D. Okay. We also have a part price category. Again, this is part price category, where you can use this for your customers. Please notice these options have either a C or an L. Let's talk for a moment about the difference here. If you choose an option, let's say 10C. C stands for cost. That is the dealership cost. And 10 means that this customer would only pay 10% over cost for their parts. Okay, so if you're choosing something with C here in this part price category, C is for cost. So 40C means this customer would only pay 40% of cost on the parts. We also have options that have an L. So for L is list or retail cost. So if you choose 75L, that means this customer would only be paying 75% of retail or list. L stands for list, C stands for cost. If you wish, you can also choose to put a specific customer discount. Okay, let's say you give your customer a 10% discount for this individual. Okay, 10% discount. All right, we also have an area here if you want to specify the labor rate for a specific customer. You can also indicate a specific labor rate for them. The next 3 fields are automatically filled in by EverLogic based on your year-to-date purchases, last year's purchases, and last purchase date for this customer. And then the last option at the bottom, if your dealership would like to choose a type of customer to track, you can also set those up in EverLogic under your system setup. And of course, as always, if you need help, we're always available here. Our support staff is here to support you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you'd like one-on-one training, I'm available to schedule something to help you there. And then lastly, we've added in employment information. Now, we did this recently based upon some input from our customers and their request. So if there's anything that you would like to see upgraded in EverLogic, you can make those requests, and we consider those based upon best practices. I'm sorry we do not always cater for an individual need, but if we do have something that's specified and can be beneficial for our customers using EverLogic, then you can make those suggestions for us to consider. All right, here the employment information was added to allow you to share this information directly with the financial institution, for financing deals. So when you complete here, you would add in their social security number, their occupation, along with the employer name and address here, the employee gross salary, and there is a status that you can choose from, all the way from employed, homemaker, retired, military, student, and unemployed. And then after you're complete with all the details you'd like to share or enter, go ahead and click OK, and that will update your customer form. And you now see not only their name, their phone number, but you can also see their email address.